Hello everyone. In this video, we will try to understand loops in Python. Now, loops are used whenever we have to repeat any instruction multiple times. So, there are two kinds of loops, for loop and while loop. Let us understand loops using a diagram. Now, imagine that you are standing near a park. So, there are 3 points in the park: point A, point B, and point C. Now, you are standing near the point A, which is also the starting point. Now you need to walk around the park, around this park 2 times. And whenever you meet any instruction, you have to do as per the instruction. You have to do whatever the instruction says. So there are two instruction. There is a print instruction at point B, and this instruction tells you to print B. And at point C, you have another instruction which is to print C. Now you start from point A, you move towards point B. When you reach B, you see that there is a print instruction. So in the output, you draw B. So this column I have made for output. So you write B. Now then once you have carried out the instruction, you move ahead. You start walking and then slowly you reach point C. At the point C, you see that there is another print instruction. So you do as the instruction says, you print C in the output. Again, you start moving and you reach the point A. Now, A was the starting point. So this means that you have completed one cycle of this path. So one time, the first cycle you have completed, second time, you have to again walk around the park. So you will do the same things. You will start from A, move to B, carry out the instruction at B. Then from B, you will move to C, carry out the instruction at C, and then you will start moving forward. From C, you will again reach back point A. Now, this was the second time. So, 2 times you have moved around this park. So, we can also say that you have completed 2 cycles of this park. Now, whatever instructions you got in between, you executed those. So, this is what actually happens in a loop. So, in a loop, you will have certain number of instruction inside the loop. Whatever instruction are there inside the loop will be executed as many times as the condition that is specified before the loop starts tells it to do. So the above program, let us do the above steps using a program. So first we will use a for loop. So let us write the first statement: for I in range 1 to 3. Okay, so this last point is not included whenever we use the range function, so it will go from 1 to 2. So this means that the loop will run 2 times. Inside the loop we need to have 2 instructions. So first is print B and next instruction is print C. So now if we do this, write these 3 statements, these will give us the same output, that is BC BC. Now this was done using a for loop. Now the same thing we can do using a while loop. Okay, so let us write the program using a while loop. First we will initialize a variable I equals to 1. Then we will write while I is less than 3. Then we will write a print statement, that is print B. The next instruction is also a print statement, which is print C. And then we will update the value of I equals to I plus 1. Okay, so these two, one was the for loop, the other is while loop. Both are actually similar kind, both are performing the same function. Now the difference is that in a for loop we knew at the beginning of the loop that how many cycles we have to take. For example, think about the park example. You knew that you had to take 2 cycles of the park. You had to walk around the park 2 times. Okay. So this was for loop. Now in while loop we don't know at the beginning how many times we have to go. That is how many cycles we have to take. So you start the first round. You go from point A to point B. Then you go from point B to point C. Then from point C to point A. When you complete one instruction and you reach back the starting point, you check for the signal whether you are getting a green signal or a red signal. Okay, green signal means you have to continue. You have to continue going round and round around the park, means you have to continue the cycle. A red signal means you have to stop the cycle. Now let us see this, try to understand this while loop. So the initial value of I, we had said that first the initial value of I should be equal to 1. So let us write 1 over here. The condition that we were checking was I is less than 3. So I is less than 3. Now this condition will be checked before entering the while loop. So first when I was 1, is this condition true or false? So this is I is less than 3, 1 is less than 3, that is true. When this is true means that it is getting a green signal, means you have to enter into the cycle. Now once you enter the cycle, so the instruction you have is print B. So you will print B. Next instruction is to print C. So you will print C. And after that, you have the instruction I equals to I plus 1, means you have to increase the value of I by 1. I was 1 earlier. So now I will become 1 plus 1 equals to 2. Okay. So now I is 2. Again, it will check. Once it reaches the last statement, it will check. It will go from I equals to I plus 1. After that statement, it will again go back to the condition while I is less than 3. Is I less than 3? Yes, it is still less than 3. So it will again get true. Again, it will get a green signal. True means green signal, false means red signal. So it got the green signal, means it has to take one. It will again enter the loop. Inside the loop, the statement is print B and then print C. So these two statements, these two things came in the output. So after you got green signal in step 2, you will move to print B and then to print C. So these 4 statements got printed in the output. Now again I will be incremented by value 1. So now the current value of I will become 3. So it will again go back to the to check whether I is less than 3. So 3 is not less than 3. This condition will become false. So and as soon as you get a false means that you will get a red signal. Now this means that you have to stop the cycle. You don't have to move around anymore. So you will, this means that it will not enter the loop anymore. So the final output that you will get is BC, BC. This is the output. Now consider a third case. What if we write for I in range 1 comma 5 and inside the loop we have a print statement which says hello. Now pause the video here, take few minutes and try to guess what will be the output of this statement. Okay, it is very simple, similar to the previous one. Just a slight change has been made to this program. Try to guess the output and then see the solution.
Now let us execute the program and check out the output.
So the for loop was for I in range 1 to 5. And inside the loop, there was only one single statement, which was a print statement. We were printing hello. Now we will run it and see how many times the word get hello gets printed. So you see that the word hello gets printed 4 times. Okay. So since we had given the range from 1 to 5 and 5 being the last point is not included. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is why it completes 4 cycles. And in each cycle it prints a hello. That is why we are getting 4 hellos at the end of the two statements. Now we will do execute the same thing using a while loop. Now for using a while loop, first we have to give some initial value to I. So this is also called as initialization. So we will give I equals to 1. Then we will write the condition inside the while loop. So while I is less than 5. Inside the while loop, again we will put a single statement, print statement, which is print hello. And after this, we will put another statement inside the loop, which is incrementing the value of I. That is increasing the value of I by 1. So I will be equals to I plus 1. We should get the same output when we execute this as the previous one. So let us check it out. So here you see that again we have got 4 times hello. So this while loop is acting in similar manner as the previous for loop.